Hey guys, it's Andrea here from Crafter Support. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you the Worx We Are Memory Keepers all-in-one tool. But first, I just want to give you an update. So Mondays are going to be my Cricut videos, and I put a post up on our Facebook page for you guys to let me know what you wanted to see more of. I got a lot of people wanting to see DIYs, so those are going to be on my Thursday videos, and then probably Saturday or Sunday I'll have like shopping hauls or craft things, random craft projects that I'm working on. But I don't want you to think I'm not going to be using my Cricut. I'm going to keep those videos on Monday and hopefully be able to help people that don't have a Cricut, or maybe they don't have the time or space to invest in a Cricut. I thought this tool might be a really good option for them. I do have some likes and dislikes about it. We're going to go over that today. It retails for about $65. I did purchase mine from Michaels, and I was able to use my rewards plus 20% off because I ordered it online and went and picked it up the same day at the store. So that's a great option. If you guys don't know about that, definitely check into it. I do most of my shopping through Michaels.com through my app, and they usually offer 20% off. Now there are restrictions that apply there for like Cricuts. You can't use them on machines and things like that, but you can use them on the We Are Memory Keepers tools. So I suggest that you look into that if you have a Michaels close by that you can just go pick things up at. Okay, so this tool does a lot of different things. I'm just going over the absolute basics today with you guys, and then we're going to, on Thursdays, be making a project every Thursday with this tool so you guys can see exactly how it works. They are going to be in-depth DIY projects though, so I just want to let you know that I want you guys to learn how to use any tool that you spend money on, and you've worked hard for that money, you're buying tools, you want to know how to use them properly. So we're going to be making some really fun things, DIY projects for around the house, all sorts of stuff. So definitely click that subscribe button and the bell to make sure you get informed. These again will be our Thursday videos. So first off, this tool is very substantial. It is heavy. It's not like a thin plastic. When I say heavy, I don't mean like, oh my gosh, it's so heavy. I mean like it's a sturdy machine or board. This is a board. I'm going to call it a machine, and I apologize, but it is what it is. So this is a board, and it's substantial. It feels, it's not flimsy. Like I said, it's very it seems to be very well made. So the different things that this machine does is it's a trimmer. It's a scoreboard. It does envelopes, tabs, tags, pom-pom maker. It makes tassels. It makes bows. You can stamp with it. You can make banners. They do offer videos. Guys, I like the We Are Memory Keeper products. I have a ton of them. However, I've watched their videos online. They're very difficult for me to follow. A lot of their videos, not all of their videos, but a lot of their videos are just music and them making a project. I can't learn that way. Like, I need them to explain why they're using the product that they're using, why they're choosing to, score at this mark versus that mark, but they don't really show that very well that I've seen. So I want to be able to walk you guys through step by step so you can get the most out of your tools. So this is, I don't know if this is acrylic or plastic. It feels like it's acrylic. It has measurements on it. It's super nice. It's magnetic. It presses down into the board, which I really like because that should give us a nice flat press. Like I said, when we are making cards and things like that, you guys will be able to see how well this works. Okay, so the only thing is when you put that on and like say you want to haul this to a friend's house, you want to throw it in a bag and take it to a friend's house, that will fall off. So you want to know that does not stay in place. Everything else does on the board, all the attachments that are underneath, they all stay nicely in place, but you'll have to take care of the stamping acrylic block. Okay, so now here's your trimmer. This trimmer is a little different than other ones. This one has the blade on the edge versus inside the little opening. So here's my Cricut trimmer, and there's like an opening that it sits down in, and then it's like slides up and down on. And then you kind of have like this guard for your fingers to like hold your paper in place. We don't have that with this particular trimmer. Now I'll tell you, I used the trimmer. You guys are going to see me use it today. It cut beautifully. It didn't make a difference to me that it didn't have that guide there. It might make a difference to you. So I just want to let you know that there is nothing there to like hold your paper down on except for your hand, but there is a nice ridge that it goes down into, and I don't know how you would cut yourself with it. Like when you're cutting paper, it goes directly into the ridge, but still you want to be careful. But other than that, it's a nice sturdy cutter, and you can get replacements for that if you need to. It does lock into place whenever you're not using it. You just tuck it down at the bottom and you'll see that here. So now we have our measurements at the top. They're in inches. I believe they go like every 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch the whole way across. And it has a side opening. So we have our scoring board directly on the cutting portion of it and where we stamp. So those are all the little ridges that you'll see. And it has onboard scoring tools connected underneath. And you'll see that here in a minute. So if you're not sure what a scoreboard is, that is whenever you're making like cards and things and you need the fold, or if you're making a box or something and you need a nice score line, you need a nice fold line, you use your scoring tool. So you're going to use a scoring tool with your score mat, and then you're going to press it down. And when I say mat, I mean the base of this particular cutter. I have a scoring board that I really, really like. It is from Stampin' Up, and I used it all the time whenever I was creating before I purchased my Cricuts. And my Cricut, I just use the score tool on. Now, this extends all the way out. It goes to 14 inches. So if you're making a box or you're making a 3D project and you need a 12 by 12 piece of paper, you're covered here. There's easy ways, even though the scoring tool only goes out to 6 inches, there's easy ways to work with that. And I'll show you whenever we're creating with it. Now, it also has like a sturdy base to that because you're going to be punching different things. So at the top of that, you have your tab punch, then you have your tag, which is just a hole punch, and then you have your envelope punch on the far left at the top there. We're going to go over those as well in this video so you can kind of see what they do and how they work. All right, so I think in the video right now, I'm just like rambling about something. I don't know. But I really feel like it would be easy for you guys to create projects on this board thus far from me, you know, just opening it up and working with it as much time as you guys see me working with it. It doesn't have any issues with, like, it doesn't seem flimsy when you press down on it. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going down, like, because there is an opening there. It doesn't feel like there's anything like where it's going to kind of move or wiggle or anything like that. It's very sturdy. So I think the next thing that we do is maybe we cut paper. I don't know, guys. I'm just as excited as you because, oh, there you go. I'm showing you guys nothing falls out of it. These voiceovers can be fun, I promise. Okay, so here's the pegs. These little pegs down here are for your bow making, your tassel making, and your pom-pom making. Now, I just recently bought these like little pom-pom makers at the Dollar Tree. And guys, I'm going to be doing a whole Dollar Tree haul of different things you guys can use, especially for DIYs. But I had these little pom-pom makers and I was like, they can't be that difficult to use. Guys, I can't figure them out. They're like, they make like an S shape and they turn and twist. I don't know. So I'm hoping that this one is a little bit easier. It looked a lot easier when I seen people use the tabs, that the little poles that stick up. So I'm hoping that I can figure that one out. All right, so on the back here, we have little feet that hold it in place. And they just work as like, they don't shift and slide. We also have, if you see at the bottom, we have our score tool, we have our pegs, and then we have our envelope, tag maker, and banner maker. And this just magnetizes onto the board itself, and all you have to do is put it in the proper position. So at the top, you'll see all of the different measurements here. It'll tell you if you're making a banner, what size your paper needs to be. If you're making an envelope, it'll tell you, okay, if you want this size of envelope, you need to start with this size of paper. It gives you all the information you need right here on this tool that pulls out. So at the top of your trimmer, it says banner, and that's where you put your banner arrow. It says envelope, and that's where you put your envelope arrow. And it says tag, and that's where you put your tag arrow. And then everything will line up and measure out perfectly for you doing that. So it is kind of like a no-brainer. It does walk you step by step through each item that you can make. So I'm excited actually to make some things for Easter with this. I think it would actually be really, really easy to make a lot of things, especially if you're making for taken to school or for your church, whatever you want to make little crafts for. I think this is a really great tool to have. The next thing we have are these magnets. And they just basically will hold paper in place for you. And here's where I get the idea, like, oh yeah, maybe I should show you cutting a piece of paper. So I take my mic off, which was a mistake, because when I took my mic off, I did not readjust it afterwards to get it to pick up my voice again. So I originally did this without a voiceover, and then I started listening to it, and I was like, where did my voice go? So I had to do a whole new voiceover. So you guys would have normally got my first-hand reaction, but because it didn't, record properly, it came to this. Okay, this is where we are. All right, so I have a 12 by 12 piece of Cricut cardstock. That's pretty much the only paper I have at this point. I got rid of everything else, donated, gave it away, but I'm probably going to have to replace a lot of the stuff that I got rid of, which is okay. Perfect cut. Let me tell you, it cut just as nice as my Cricut trimmer. I was very happy with it. There were no issues. So I'm just going to cut a piece for you so that we can work with the scoreboard, and I can kind of give you guys some idea of how this works. So what you do with this is like your little tray that lets you trim, but then it flips over. So if you just flip it over, you have your score. It's like what you butt your paper against to keep it from moving whenever you're scoring. Okay. Now, again, this is the part that you trim off. So it's flat. You just press your paper through. I had seen other questions about this and watching other videos on how people use this, and it was a little bit confusing to some people. So I just want to be clear. When it's like this, you can trim, nothing stops you from trimming. Okay, but when you flip it over, so you just pull it out and flip it over, there's like this little guide that sticks up, and that's what you're going to butt your paper up against in order to keep it in place when you're scoring. Now, the only issue I had was my blade was sticking out, and I was like, this probably isn't safe. What am I going to do with a blade? Like, I can't leave it open. I'll cut my arm with it. And then I realized, which I didn't see on other videos, is that you lift it and then you just pull your blade the whole way down to the bottom and it locks into place. So you have no chance of cutting yourself or making it uneven or anything like that. So just kind of lock your blade down and you're good to go. It's not going to go anywhere. So I pulled my scoring tool out of the side, and I'm going to butt my paper up against the guide, and I'm going to start scoring. So one thing I noticed whenever I was scoring is that my paper was lifting. Now, this could be so many different things. It could be the type of paper I'm using. It could be how hard I was pressing, but it started to move while I was, do you see it lifting there? It started to move while I was scoring. And you might say, well, why do you need so many scores? If you're making rosettes or anything like that, you score it like every 1/4 inch or every 1/2 inch. And this could be a little bit of a tricky situation if your score lines are wrong. So I got another piece of paper and I was like, okay, I'll try it again. Maybe I did something wrong. But the same thing happened. So I will say, when it comes to scoring, you will have to push up more than you push to the side, where I am used to pushing to the side of my other scoreboard. So that just could be me. But with this scoreboard, I feel like you have to press up, push it so that way there, give it a little bit of pressure so that it's staying up on the lines versus over against the side. So that was the only issue I found with that. Otherwise, the tool is very comfortable to use. The score lines were the exact depth that I would expect, and it worked great other than that. So I have my score lines, was very happy with those. Like I said, the scoring tool worked perfectly. No issues. All right, so the next thing, I don't remember what it is that we did. Do we do the pegs next? Okay, so we're going to pull the pegs out. Again, these pegs are for your bow making, your tassels, and your bow making, tassels, or pom-poms. These fit in like with a pressure mount. So like there's a little piece of plastic at the bottom that has like that cut in the side so it pressure mounts in. It could be a little tricky. They might break easy. You'll have to be careful with them. Hopefully you can buy replacements if need be. I kind of see mine getting a little, because I'm a tight winder. Whenever I do anything with yarn, ribbon, and I seem to be really tight. So I hope that I don't snap these off. I've had bow makers in the past that I've broken because I tie everything too tight. So, we'll see how this works. But this is how you make the tassels and pom-poms and your bows. I know I already said that. I don't know why I'm rambling. Anyways, so you just push them down in. They store inside themselves. So you put two together and then they slide into the side of the board. I do love that We Are Memory Keepers keeps everything right on the board itself that you need. I have a lot of their cutting tools that cut, I have the banner board that they have, and everything stays on the board, and that is nice. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm trimming paper again, and we're going to we just flip the side that we need to cut now. So now we're just going to trim a piece off. And it trims, I'm really impressed with how it's trimming the paper. Very, very smooth. I make this a little bit smaller because I want to go into the different punches. So back to the magnets that I originally got out a while back, these just hold your paper in place. So you can just put your paper where you want it, and then it'll hold it there. You can line up your stamp, put your stamping pad on, and then press down and stamp your project. Pretty simple. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm excited to actually use that portion of it and see how well it stamps. Because of the grooves behind it, I'm not sure how well that's going to work, but I've seen people use it, and they haven't really had any issues of the videos I watched. Everything came out pretty nicely, so I hope that I get the same results. But we will... I'll share it with you guys, whatever happens. All right. So the next thing is, I don't know what I'm talking about here. All sorts of stuff's happening there. Okay. So these just store on the back. So you're going to, not Velcro, you're going to magnetize them back on the back, and they will stay nice and sturdy for you. So guys, you'll definitely have to let me know if you have this tool, and if you do, what you think of it, or if you plan on purchasing it. The next thing I want to show you guys is how to use the side punches. So the side punches kind of confused me a little bit. I'm going to be honest. Whenever I was using them, two of the tools do the same thing. So I'm not really sure why they're there, why they put the same tool on two pieces, but I don't know. That we'll figure out. So you have at the top left, you have your tab punch, and that's the punch that rounds corners to make your tabs. Pretty simple, easy. It just rounds corners. But you'll see on the envelope punch portion, the back of it has a tab that rounds corners, and they do the exact same corners. So why they put two different punches that do the exact same thing on the same board was a little bit confusing to me. But we're just working on this, right? Excuse me. Okay, so we just slide it in. It gives you small, medium, and large, so you know what size of tab you want to use. Then this is the tag portion of it. So it has little measurements to tell you how big your tag is. You line it up so you get your hole in the center. So this is basically a hole punch. You can use it for whatever you're trying to punch a hole in and just line it up, but it's specifically for tags. Very easy to punch down. A lot of their punches are a little bit hard. I have very weak wrists. I was a majorette growing up and my wrists are very, very weak. But here's the thing. Okay, so here's the envelope punch, and this is what it does. This one was a little bit harder to punch down, but the envelope punch does like this little divot, like a little tiny divot, super cute. It makes for great envelopes. However, the back is supposed to round the corners of your envelopes. So you slide it in the back and you press down, which does the exact same as the tab punch. I feel like they could have put something else on here. Like they could have done something like additional instead of just giving us that. So I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't put a different punch on there. But I mean, I get it. It is what it is. I'm thinking like maybe the pillow punch board punch would have been really cool to have on there, but I'm sure they have their reasons for why they did that. I just don't understand it. But it worked well. So you can do your tabs, your tags, and your envelopes right there on the side. You can pull it out however you need to do it. But I think that's pretty cool that you have all those options on one board. Now, if you don't have any of the other punch boards, if you have some of the punch boards already, I would tell you don't need this product. Okay, if you have a scoreboard and none of the other projects or none of the other boards, definitely. I think this is a great product that you could use. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you step by step all the different functions that it has and how you can use it for DIY projects. And also like stamping. So if you're a card maker, this could be a really good option for you. Or if you're just dabbing into the card world, this might be a fun project or item for you to purchase to make your projects. All the instructions in the book, we'll go step by step through all of those so you guys can get the full effect of the score of the board itself. Yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to do what you guys are asking and what you want to see because I want you to be crafting and using the things that you have. So if you have any video ideas that you would like to share, if there's anything you want me to show you and there's a product you want me to review, send it to me, send me a link or something to it. And if possible, I'll be able to purchase that and do a review on it for you. But again, our videos for our DIY projects are going to be on Thursdays. Mondays will be our Cricut videos. And then Saturday or Sunday, I would like to start posting just like random videos, fun videos that I like to do, whether it be a shopping haul or just a random craft I'm working on or something like that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.